All right, guys. How you doing? This is Mikey's Untitled Music Show. I got my special guest, my brother, Just Alone.
Yeah,
Just Alone. Say what's up, bro.
yeah.
Yo. All right, guys. Thank you so much for episode one. This is episode one of Mikey's Untitled Rock Show. No, it's not Mikey's Untitled Rock Show. It's Mikey's Untitled Music Show.
Same thing.
When I was younger, there was a show called Steven's Entitled Rock Show. It was on Fuse, and it came on every week. I think like on a Monday or Tuesday, and it was it would highlight all of the emo music
Pretty
of
cool
the
though.
day, dude. Back in high school, emo for all my emo friends out there. It wasn't a phase, damn it. Anyways, we got my brother Just Alone here. He's
Easier to say.
he's here. We're gonna have a little interview with him, and what I really want in this show, guys, is to show what kind of like what music can do for relationships, what music can do for the world. It can bring everybody together. So I'm just really interested in knowing, like, um, different artists and different people. It doesn't really necessarily have to be artists, but what brings, everybody closer with music? What is it about it, that we all love? And I just want to get into that. So, just alone, what's the first memory of music that you have? Like the very first memory?
It all started with my dad's friend named Wally.
Wally.
So I think I was like 6 years old, maybe.
Mm.
And my dad's friend Wally, shout out Wally. Um, he kind of sat me down on his drum set when he had a practice session one time with his band.
Mm.
He sat me down, and my dad was right next to me, and he gave me the sticks, and everyone was shocked that I can actually play a simple beat on the spot.
Mm.
I thought it was easy, right?
Mm.
In other people's eyes, it was whoa,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I asked my dad for my first drum set, and he was super, not against it, but he was like, let's see if he still likes it, right?
Yeah.
So gave me my first drum set on Christmas. Don't don't exactly know what year it was, but
Mm.
I still remember it was a white drum set with a blue pedal. Yeah, a blue pedal, and I started playing
Mm.
songs that I heard, like Nirvana, all the above, and it was only me and my brother playing. So yeah, I mean that was yeah.
What was the first well, actually before I move on from that one, this kid right here, since he was how old were you, like 9?
Yeah,
That's when you first
around
started
9.
playing? Dude, it's crazy. This little kid and my other brother Jeremy, they started a band. Um did you guys start that band, or was it like just like a collective?
So basically, it was my neighbor now, Eddie, was the one who was playing with my brother Jeremy
Mm.
most of the time, and you know, I remember I would want it. I wanted to kind of join the band,
Mm.
right? It was me asking my brother to join my band
Yeah.
or his band, and he was very denial. He was like, "Nope, you're not gonna join. Nope, you're not too. You're
You're
no
too
good."
young. Yeah.
And Eddie was like, "Dude, give him a chance, man." He's like, "Nope, no, he's not gonna be my drummer. Nope." And sure enough, I joined the band.
Yeah, dude, this little kid, dude, you were hearing. Okay, we come from this little spot called the Imperial Valley, California. Shout out Imperial Valley, dude.
Oh,
Um, And me, Jeremy, and Andrew, we didn't really grow up together, but we did know of each other. We did see each other from time to time. But I was hearing about, and I didn't know it was you guys. I was hearing about this little kid playing the drums and fucking shredding, dude.
That's crazy.
And like this little kid, like little ass kid, playing the drums and fucking going nuts. And these like, and Jeremy was only what, like 4 years older than you, so Jeremy was only probably
He was
what, like
probably like 13 or
13, 14,
14.
right?
Yeah.
And Jeremy, his guitar skills are just fucking insane also. Like, and so you were hearing about this young band, especially this little kid, 9, 10 years old, playing these drums like nobody's freaking business. And like and I remember going, we were at a main street, it was a main street show, a battle of the
Mm.
bands.
Mm-hmm.
There was a battle of the bands going on, and I'm right there, and I'm kind of in the crowd, and oh yeah, these are the kids that are playing, and I look up at the fucking stage, dude, and it's my two little brothers right there, standing on the stage,
Wow.
fucking playing, dude. And I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck
It's
is this?
crazy.
Like, that's crazy.
Pretty
Like,
crazy.
these little kids, but bro, they would get down. They would they would get down. What was the first like album that you really like sat down and you were like, oh, that's my shit?
Wait and Bleed, Slipknot.
Mm.
That was my first album that my brother introduced me into metal. Um, I instantly wanted to be like Joey Jordison,
Mm.
the drummer,
Yeah.
and I was like, I got to do that,
Mm.
you know. And I learned every song, heard every song, analyzed, and played as best as I could.
Mm.
So I feel like without that band and without that album, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, musically.
Would you
Because
say
of them.
that's like your favorite band, or would you say you have, now that you've moved kind of out of metal, um, you've gotten to new bands, or
Well,
you have a new favorite? Sorry.
I mean, Slipknot. They're always my favorite band.
Mm.
Of course, I've between the years of playing drums and then moving on to producing, I my musical, my it just sprouted, you
Yeah.
know, sprouted, and I started hearing a lot more like indie, country,
Mm.
everything you can think of, and I feel like from that, it just that's kind of what I do now, which is
Mhm.
EDM, right? So it's pretty cool.
We were talking a little earlier about like System of a Down, right?
Hmm.
And how like that was my favorite shit when I grew up. My uncle had the System of a Down like self-titled album, and I remember that was the very first album. That was like my first album. That was the first album that that like I listened to from start to finish, and I listened to Spiders first,
Mm,
and then so like I listened to
good song.
Spiders, and that was like a super popular song at that time, and then I got to Mind,
Mm,
bro.
yeah, dude.
If you guys don't know System of a Down, dude, you need to go check out like the song Mind. That song is, I just listened to it like yesterday, no, like a couple days ago, and that shit just like, oh, that gets into my soul, bro.
Goosebumps.
Like goosebumps into my body, and I just, you know what I mean? Like,
I have not seen System of a Down yet.
no.
I've seen Slipknot though, many times.
System of a Down, my favorite band. If you guys want to get me any presents or anything like that for Christmas, System of a Down shirts and merch
Mm.
would be greatly appreciated. But no, dude, I've watched them like 4 times already.
That's sick.
Dude, like,
And they rarely play, so I think
yeah,
you did a good job by
oh,
going.
bro, we saw them at Aftershock when they
Mm.
played with Incubus.
Ooh.
Bro, that show, and
That's
Alice in Chains also played that
wow.
night. We saw them there. It was cool because actually that time we saw them twice in the same week. We went on like a little road trip out to
Mm.
like NorCal, and then we went to Vegas. But we went to NorCal to go to Aftershock, and then we drove to Vegas. and then we came back to San Diego, and they played in San Diego
Oh, that's sick.
at the sports arena, and or what's it called now? Pachanga?
Pachanga.
Yeah,
I still call it the sports
Pachanga.
arena.
Yeah, the sports arena, and we were in the on the floor.
Oh, that's sick.
Ah, dude, I was like, bro, it was ridiculous. I love
That's
System of a
sick.
Down. They're nuts. But yeah,
Yeah.
System of a Down was like that first like that was my first album, and then but we were talking also about how when I first listened to The Spy by
Mhm.
The Doors. If you don't know that song either, guys, The Spy by The Doors, that song changed my life. We were talking about it earlier. Like, that
Sick.
song changed my musical life. So I'm wondering, like, is there a certain song or like did you find a certain band like when you got older or like a certain artist where you were just like, oh man, I didn't know like you can make music like that, how I
Oh
was with
yeah,
the
I
like with
got
the
one.
door, like what
Yeah.
you got?
So it's like a heavy metal band.
Hmm.
It's called The Faceless. If you haven't heard of The Faceless, you should probably go listen. You'll be blown. They have songs that are so fast
Mm.
and so musical that you'll be like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" You know? Yeah, The Faceless is one of those bands that afterwards, because I was listening to Slipknot when I was 9, 10, and from there it kind of just sprouted to like heavy metal, you know, to the heavier shit.
Mm.
And then that's when I found The Faceless because Jeremy told me about it. He's like, dude, check them out,
Mm.
you know. And I was like, bro, I need to try to play that.
Yeah.
So I kind of just progressed into different genres after that, where I'm just like, I want to do that. I want to do that. Just.
In your experiences, like how does music like how has music brought like you together with like different kinds of people maybe that you didn't think that you would, have um like that kind of like relationship with them because of music. Like what do you think about like music brings people together?
Well, it's good. It's a great thing. I don't think anything else brings us together other than music, right? So it definitely changed my life. Definitely changed other people's lives as well. I've seen it. Um, I feel like it's a beautiful thing. Nothing can replace music. Well, it literally can't because it's fucking music, right? But um, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's brings a lot of people together with different mindsets and different, you know, things in mind, right? But yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see. At least you know we can be together for once
Yeah.
as humans,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, dude, like um I grew up around live music pretty much my whole life in church. I grew up or like we grew up in a Christian family, but like every week there was live music. It's not that it was like worship or whatever, but it was live music. It was people up there, putting themselves out there, and you know like it was live, like nothing
Hmm.
was really recorded, it wasn't songs. And so we had every Wednesday, every Sunday we would have song service. So I was around like, and the song service would last like a good 20 minutes, like a good 20-25 minutes, but just of people all singing and singing different songs, everybody clapping,
Hmm.
everybody like raising their
Just unites
hands,
everyone,
it
no matter
unites.
what situation.
And they did that so that everybody could come together and feel a certain way before like listening to whatever message they had or
Hmm.
whatever. But every Saturday also we had live music also, but it was different bands, like different like it was like, yeah, they were playing Christian music and like covers of other like, my dad had a band. It was called Dead to Sin, DTS. They were called DTS, and he was a drummer.
Mm.
And they played like a cover of The Offspring.
Mm.
um what song is it? Yeah, you disrespecting me. You gotta keep them separated.
Oh yeah,
That song, but like they had their own words to it. And
yeah.
shit, you know what I
That's
mean?
funny.
Like, so it was like that part is funny, but I grew up around that. Do you think music is best listened to like in your headphones or like live?
Definitely. Well, it's hard because if you if you're just if you want to be alone, right, and you just put those headphones on and you just hear music, I feel like that's just you know. I feel like that's superior. I feel like that's way better than going live to live concerts because in a live concert, a live aspect, you know, you're with other people,
Mm-hmm.
you're having fun with other people. But when you listen to your headphones, it's kind of more of your own thoughts, and you know, just like you're just on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to music, figuring out if you like it or not. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This case for me, it's headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of music do you like? Your EDM, right?
Hmm.
Like what are some of your um like influences in EDM that made you, because this kid and like my other brother Jeremy and his band, like it was a heavy metal band. It was like heavy metal band, and it's crazy how far like they kind of went away from that. Not like in a because probably because they don't like it or anything, but just because that's how they evolved. Like um freaking Just Alone right here. He he went from this little kid playing the drums like nuts, like nuts, like stupid. Like how did this little kid play the drums like that? And I'm not even like exaggerating, guys. Not even because he's my little brother or anything. Like this kid was the shit.
No idea.
You know what I mean? But like he went to like from heavy metal to EDM,
Mm.
and I was like, and I thought, oh, okay, I was surprised. And then our brother Jeremy, right now he's
Michigan.
teaching at the University of Michigan for like
Com-
classical, right?
composition, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
composition. Yep. And he has like pieces out and stuff that
He's
you
been
know
very
he's
successful with.
very
Yeah.
successful with his music, but he went to that classical side,
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
and
Very crazy.
like what do you think made you kind of lean
Switch.
over that way?
Um, it all started by hearing a Skrillex song.
Mm.
From Skrillex, I went to Dead Mouse. And I feel like, oh, all right, that's what I listened to apart from metal. I was also playing metal, right? So I was playing metal, and then, when I was on my own, I would, play some Skrillex, Knife Party, all those old, artists.
Mm.
And I feel like I evolved from that on my own. That's what I found, right? So I
Mm.
was like, oh, dude, I found something very crazy, EDM, right? My friends were always listening to EDM, but I was that one emo kid, and I was like, I'm sticking to metal,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all started from Skrillex, and from there it kind of just sprouted my musical theory of what I thought was only metal back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah, I grew up kind of gravitating like towards rock. Like we were talking about it earlier too. Like I grew up with like top 40
Mm,
like music on the
yeah.
radio. I grew up with 93.7 KCLB rocks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the countdowns, like
Yeah.
Rick D's in the weekly top 40, like
Wow.
107.5. You know, we didn't have a lot in El Central, but we had some good radio stations for sure.
For sure.
And so like that's what also like kept me like listening to other genres and different music. I remember
Mhm.
98.3 used to be an alternative station, so you would listen to like Nirvana, and you would
Yeah, that's
listen to
sick.
like Stained and like all those other like
Yeah.
different types of bands and stuff like that. What's your creative like process like when you're trying to come up with a song? Like
Mm.
what is it? Like for me, I like to write, so I'll get on a computer, and I'll just sit there
Mm.
until and I'll just like, now my process is I'll sit there and I'll start just thinking out loud.
Mm.
I'll start writing
That's
down
sick.
like my thoughts, and even like my concerns, like I don't know how to make this character. I feel
Mm.
like I can make this character this way, but maybe it'll go this way, and then like that's how I'll get like started.
That's
Like
sick.
what's the process like for you?
So for me, it all comes by feeling. So whatever I feel instantly goes out to the DAW that
Mm.
I write on. Um, yeah, it's just a feeling. Like from that feeling, I kind of just write whatever I can based on that feeling, and then I kind of just sprout to other things
Mm.
out of the feeling that I had. So from that feeling, it goes to some, it might go to what I was actually feeling, or it goes to something I totally wasn't feeling.
Mm.
So that's kind of how I make. That's the process of kind of how I write.
Mm-hmm.
But usually, sometimes it's kind of like, oh, this is a sick sample. I'm gonna re-engineer that sample. So I usually, it just depends how it comes.
What's the coolest like I guess time that you've had like performing? Like
Performing.
like what's like the coolest time where you're just kind of like or like a specific not maybe, I don't know about specific time, but like a time where you kind of like look around and you're like, damn, like all these people are kind of like looking at me right
Mm-hmm.
now. Like did you ever get any kind of stage fright? Were you even like thinking of anything like that because you were so young too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So definitely when I was younger, I was super nervous for some reason, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And then Jeremy was like, oh, dude, what do you mean? You're gonna play, right? So I was like, okay. And then I think just by the years of playing, like I didn't really care what people thought of me.
Yeah.
So I was just like playing just because I loved it, right? So yeah, when I was younger, I did have a bit of stage fright, but now it's just kind of normal. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of just expressing what I have done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool.
I've always one of the things that I regret, kids, if you're listening out there, even if you're not a kid, one thing I
Old
regret
people.
is is freaking not picking up an instrument and like being serious with it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I dabbled in the guitar a little bit. I took like intro guitar. That was pretty cool, you know. But like, I learned the jazz scale,
Mm.
and and
Great skill.
that shit was. I just remember being like, wait, so this is kind of like how this is how you solo. You know
Mm.
what I mean? This is how
Yeah.
you solo. And it was cool because, it's different kinds of music. Like I love all types of music, guys. If like usually they ask me like, "Oh, what kind of music do you like?" I'll tell them if my ears like it, I'll listen to it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So I don't judge like on the, you know, game recognized game, you know what I'm saying? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm.
But yeah, pretty much what I'm trying to say. If you, if you're able to pick up even like a harmonica, some maracas or something, you know what I mean? Go try to do it. Try to learn like a new instrument. I challenge you. I tried challenging myself, but it was hard. It was really hard. It was really hard. Anyways, if you could like collaborate with any artist that's like alive or dead, who would you like to collaborate with?
Definitely. Now that he's dead, rest in peace, Joy Jordison.
Mm.
But Joy Jordison,
R.I.P.
he is he's a genius when it comes to drums, and I would just like to know what caused him to play like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he plays so good and so fast, and his mindset towards certain fills or certain parts of the song are kind of like, how did you think of that? You know.
Mm.
So I think Joy Jordison would definitely be
Yeah.
the one I would want to collaborate with in the drum side of aspect things.
Do you have any like pre-show rituals or like anything that you do before a show, like maybe some kind of like I don't know, what do you call the word? What's the word? I already forgot what the word is.
I don't know.
Like a ritual, like a pregame ritual. You know how some people put like their lucky
Oh no.
shirt on or like their lucky they say like a
Honestly,
lucky phrase or something like that. Do you have anything like that?
honestly, no. Like I just kind of went up and did the thing.
Mm.
I didn't really have any ritual. I was just like, all right, let's get this shit over with.
That's just
You know what I mean? So I was like enjoying it, but also like nervous, and I had all these thoughts, and I was just like, I want to just get fucking done with this shit.
what's like a guilty pleasure song. I'm gonna tell you my guilty pleasure song. My guilty pleasure song is a song called "The Way It Was" by the Backstreet Boys.
Mm.
Dude, Nick Carter, bro. Nick Carter, bro. You could sing like that, dude. Like, and it's funny because it was I listened to that song for the first time um at a Backstreet Boys concert.
Mm.
My wife wanted to go to the back to watch the Backstreet Boys, and I
Yeah.
was like, I don't want to watch the Backstreet Boys. And then she was like, "Come on, come on, come on!" Like, I want to go. I was like, "All right, fine. I'm gonna be on my phone the whole time." You know what I mean? And so we go, dude, and they put on a badass show, dude.
Yeah.
Like they put on a good
Wow.
show, and they heard that song the way it was. I heard like a little excerpt of it because it was before COVID. It was supposed to be their comeback, like their
Oh
comeback
yeah.
album. So
Mhm.
they did their comeback album after COVID was finished.
Mhm.
But that was a song the way it was. I don't know if a lot of people know that song, but it's a Backstreet Boys song. And it's a badass song off of their like last album. But is there a song like that for you that like what's a guilty pleasure song?
I don't even know, dude. There's so many. I don't. I
Where
don't.
where you listen to the song and you're kind of like, I don't really want anybody to know that I'm listening to this song.
Oh. Mm, honestly, since it was such a wow factor for my friends to even think that I was listening to EDM, so they're just like, "Whoa, you listen to EDM?" Because they all know me as a metal kid, right?
Mm.
So like, what the fuck? So I don't really know, you know. Um, maybe Rick Astley. From Rick Astley.
That's a good song, dude.
Yeah.
Never gonna give you
Never gonna
up.
give
You
you up.
know what I'm saying, dude? That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Everybody gets Astley now. Is that what everybody gets Rick
Get
Astley?
Astley,
You gotta get Astley, dude.
and you're gonna get glued.
What do you think is like the most powerful aspect of music?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
Like for me, I think for me it's just the fact that it's coming from somebody's mind.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like I think that's the most powerful thing. Like it's just kind of like it's in music are inventions, right? Like
yeah.
they're inventions, but just of sound, right? And everybody has their own invention, and it's crazy to me how much different music there is out there
Mhm.
and different bands. And it's like I kind of see it as like everybody's face, right? Everybody's face is pretty much different, like unless like you're like look just like your brother or something like that, you know what I mean? But everybody's face for the most part is
Mhm.
different,
Yeah.
and everybody's like demeanor and everybody's attitude is different and it's their own. So I feel like that's the most powerful part, the just the it's the creativeness and the
Yeah.
the
I mean,
the pa-
I was kind of gonna, cause yeah, it could be the creative aspect of things, cause that's kind of like the most important, right? Cause without the blueprint, there is no outcome or execution. So yeah, I would have to agree on you with that one.
yeah.
Yeah, the creative aspect. It's pretty good.
And for my last question, I like this is gonna be my ending question for every single one of my episodes. So stay tuned, guys. Every I don't know when, but we'll figure it out. Um, but in your opinion, what's the ultimate purpose of music in like human life, humankind?
Mm. Is if we can all be one for 1 second and think and not have to stress. I think that's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy to me. This is why I also love going to concerts. You go to a concert, especially now. Like when I was younger, yeah, they were a little more rough.
Mhm.
Because we're all younger and that's just the scene.
Yep.
Like, we love me and my wife, we love going to concerts and stuff, but we love rock shows. We fucking love I love emo music, dude. Emo music, pop punk, all that shit, heavy metal, like that's my shit, you know what I mean? But I'll listen to like everything though. I'll listen to Maluma, you know what
Mm.
I'm saying? I'll listen to Rake,
Mm.
Mana.
Wow.
I'll listen to Michael Jackson,
Shout out my now.
The Doors, Simon and Garfunkel,
Hmm.
fucking Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean?
Classics.
Like just everything. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And yeah, dude, it's just one thing I do love about concerts is that you can go and I feel safe at a concert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what you know that when you go to a concert, everybody there is going for the same purpose, and the
Hmm.
same purpose is to enjoy the music that that person made,
And
and
no one
and
judges. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and everybody loves that, or maybe not loves, but everybody is at least likes the
Yep.
music that they're playing. So nobody wants a bad show. You kind of like you see people starting to get rowdy and shit at shows now, and you see people like stopping that shit like right
Hmm.
away
Yeah.
because nah, bro, like this isn't
Yeah.
a
It's
place
just
for
not
that.
cool. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's what I love about like music, and about a show. Like that's what I want the show to be about is
Yeah.
what brings us together. What about music brings us together? What do you, what can I learn from your style of music? What can I learn from somebody else's style of
Yeah.
music? And what do they put, like where does it come from? Like where does music really come from? Like why do we why do we feel the way that we feel? Why do we get chills coming down like our
It's a
backs, like
crazy
when we listen
feeling.
to like a good song or like our favorite song, our
Yeah.
favorite band? You know what I mean? Like why does that happen? And I would love to like talk to
Yeah.
like any kind of like expert in music, or like why does that happen? So
It's
I'm just
pretty
very
crazy. It's
curious.
pretty crazy to think about that. We all come as one when when there's someone playing, everyone's one. No one's judging. Um, it's just all fun.
Hmm.
And that I think that's why it unites people.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Everyone's there for one single reason: is to hear the music.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so where can we find your music, bro?
Uh, you can find it on SoundCloud.com/ Just Alone Tunes. I have a new song. Well, not so new. It's called Love Me. You
Mm.
should go check it out. Cause I
All right.
love you.
Love me. We'll be playing it. Um, and with that, guys, thank you so much for be going on the start of this journey with me. What I would love out of this show is to be able to interview anybody about music. I want to, we're gonna have we're gonna like we love going to concerts, so I'm gonna go to as many live concerts as I can. Uh, post them on the Instagram. But I would love for you guys to go on this musical journey with me because it's gonna be a good one, and it's gonna be a
It
sick
will
one.
be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one,
Stay tuned.
bringing everybody together. All right.
That's
But
good.
thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate that, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.